What's up, guys? Intelitech Studios here, and before I record a vacuum saved, I'm gonna open this because I got this yesterday, or maybe the day before. I can't remember. Yesterday, I think. But yeah, so we're gonna open this up. It's probably a vacuum cleaner, if I had to guess. Kind of light on the packaging, but realistically, it's in one piece, so I don't care. Crevice tool. Extension wand, hose with a bit of a kink in it, wow, a lot of scratching right there. Some nice rusted out screws. There's a combo tool. Alright, wrapped up in some bubble wrap. Looks like it's in one piece, so could I complain about the packaging? Maybe, but realistically, I packaged my vacuums like this up until very recently, so probably shouldn't complain, especially for the price. Because this, in case you're not aware, is a Bissell PowerForce Bagless. Now, I technically have, in fact I objectively have, the better version of this. It's right here. It's the Bagless Turbo. But my friend, whose real name I'm blanking on at the moment, but who has the YouTube channel under the name Vac Attack, had this. This is a Bissell PowerForce Bagless model 6579-2, which any Bissell collector will recognize it because of the headlight, which was only very briefly on these units before it was removed. Even on the old school 12 amp models like this that were made in Korea, a lot of them were replaced by the 6579-3, which I have featured on the channel a couple times, which that version is exactly like this but without the headlight. So this one's the better one with the headlight. This one's from the 264th day of 2006, so it's slightly newer than my matching PowerForce Bagless, or PowerForce Bagged 3522-5. But yeah, this thing's got some gnarly scuffs, but that's okay. It's a classic machine. Actually, that filter doesn't look too bad. It is pretty dirty on the inside there. But again, I only paid $10 for this, plus shipping and handling. Ended up being exactly $30 and a couple cents after all said and done. Maybe it was 31, I can't remember. It was basically 30 bucks. And I'm trying to bend this out so that way it goes back in place. Because that wasn't, there we go. Now it actually clicks into place, because before it wasn't clicking, but there we go. Alright, so that's taken care of. Why does this look like it's off center? I don't know. But yeah. Yep, does have the, of course, it's got the shroud here, which, oh, that's dirty. I shouldn't have touched that. But it's got the shroud. Ooh. That's dirty. That's all dirty. But again, for 10 bucks, I can't complain. Basically, because, I mean, realistically, if I had seen this, you know, if I had seen this locally, and it was this model for, you know, 25 bucks in this condition, I would have picked it up, so $5 more than what I would have paid max to get it shipped to me. Can't complain too much. I guarantee he didn't make any money on this, which I kind of feel bad about, because I asked him what he wanted for it, and he's like, oh, 10 bucks, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to argue with that. I wouldn't sell a vacuum that cheap. I'm an asshole. But either way, I appreciate it, Vac Attack. Everyone go subscribe to him, since he obviously didn't make any money on this vacuum. Try to wipe that off. So yeah, go subscribe to Vac Attack, so that way I don't feel so bad for getting it this cheap. Anyways, there's that inner and outer. Oh wait, I just showed that, didn't I? The filter's actually in good shape. I was expecting to have to replace these, especially for the price. This I'm gonna wash. It's a little dusty, but it's fine for now. I'm just gonna run it real quick, because realistically this thing's gonna get a full-on strip down and a bath. And he said the screws were rusty, but he did say they should all drive just fine, which as long as they do, then I don't care. As long as I can remove them, then I can obviously replace them, because these screws are all still in use today on the big green PowerForce that you can still get parts for. So I can replace all these screws. Brush roll is actually in good shape. There's a little bit of gunk right there, but I actually shouldn't need to replace this. The bristles feel a little bit softer than they usually are. I don't know if you can see that, but should be okay. So I don't think I'm going to replace the brush roll. The wheels look okay. That part's not broke. That part's not broke. Yep. Wheels are good. Yeah, you know, realistic. I mean, these are always messed up. But yeah, I think he asked if I wanted a normal bulb or an LED bulb in it, because he had both. I told him I didn't care, because again, for the price, am I really gonna be nitpicky? I don't think so. Okay, so we're gonna put this together, which it's a Bissell, so putting it together takes 4 seconds. Maybe longer than that, but still. This handle's actually bubble wrapped very well. Oh, it has a sticker. Cool. I didn't even look, honestly. He did a video on this, I think. Actually, no, I know he did, because I saw the thumbnail for it, but I actually forgot to watch it. Because I actually didn't want to watch it. I guess I didn't forget. I didn't want to watch it, because I was like, oh, I'm going to wait and see what I get. Because, again, for the price, I didn't care. It's, you know, if it doesn't affect my purchasing decision, then I don't really care if there's a fault with the machine, because if I was going to buy it anyways, then who cares? So, we're going to pop that out. I'll try to... Oh, good. Oh, Rocco, why are you pouncing on the packaging? Why are you such an idiot? Okay, pull out these 2 screws. These are more than good enough for me to reuse for now. These I might not even have to replace. They might be okay, but, you know, I'll probably... If these screws drive just fine, like if I'm really worried about it, you know... Oh, these handles, I was going to say, these handles always are tricky to get on. Yeah. I used to like the black screws more on these, but nowadays I actually prefer the newer silver screws because they're easier to see. And they're a bit more obvious to find replacements for. Not like it really matters. I'm going to flip this. Ratcheting screwdriver is your friend with these vertically facing screws, because you can see right there, you know, because otherwise trying to turn a manual screwdriver does get in the way. Okay, just gonna focus. There you go. Rocco, whatever you're doing, quit it. Alright, handle screws are in. We're not going to bother wrapping up the cord because we're going to plug it in and try it. But we got to grab the tools. Yeah. Ooh, that's gross. There we go. Alright. Wand in there. Just like that. And the matching, is this the matching crow's tool? Yes, it is, actually. I just remembered. 2006 is when they changed from the good crevice tools to the crappy crevice tools. And this hose is bent that way. On the newer ones, they're straight. I do still want to find a Bissell PowerForce 6584, even though the 83 is more common and easier to find, because that's the one that my family had as a kid, you know, when I was 10. So I do want to find that model again. Not really enough to like spend a bunch of money on it, unless it was NOS. God, an NOS one would be great. Even though that is the model without the headlight and with the 10 amp motor, I would enjoy an NOS one, because that's, you know, the exact one that I would have unboxed back in the day. Toss all this crap in here real quick. Toss that over there. Pick all that stuff up. All right. There There we go. I don't know if it's on or off. That was on. That's off. Okay, now it's off. Did that spark, or did I just look at that wrong? I don't know. All right. PowerForce 6579-2. Can't remember the last time I've had one of these. It's been a long time. I've had the -3 a bunch of times. I know I had a 6594 a couple times. I had like 2 black ones and I had a blue one of the regular and the -W. I don't necessarily regret selling those because I like the red bins on the turbo a little bit more. If there was a version that actually had blue bins, then I'd want that one, but that doesn't exist to my knowledge, only in stock photos. Alright, let's give this a try. Well, I've never owned an LED bulb before, but that is definitely an LED bulb. That is super bright and super white, so that's pretty cool. Also, this sounds great. He said it had some sort of a whine to it, and if I really, listen closely, I can hear a little bit of a whine. But honestly, it's not enough for me to even be able to tell if it's the motor or the brush roll. So, I mean, I couldn't care less. Nice. I feel like this cord clip isn't working. I feel like it's really worn. It barely holds the cord. Yeah, first world problems, I guess. And this hose actually has some slack to it, unlike the 65 whatever bullcrap ones that came later, especially the helixes and even the current helix. This hose is like half the length and you can't do anything with it. This at least has enough length that you can kind of do something with it at least, so that's good. The switch didn't have a problem, I just kept missing it because I was looking at it through the camera. Alright, well that works, so that's good. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. It's what I expected, pretty much, because he did say it was dirty. But, yeah, I mean, it's what I expected, and it's what I got for $10 before, $10 for the price of the thing itself. And I know eBay fees are brutal, so what did he make on this thing? $2? After all's said and done? And then, plus or minus the packaging materials, I'm pretty sure he lost money on this, so I can't thank him enough, obviously, because that's, hey, yeah, I guess I can't complain. It's exactly what I would have wanted. So, yeah, 6579-2 for $30. The actual price itself was 10, which, funnily enough, was this 10? I think this was 10. I can't remember. You have to go back to that video and see, because I actually don't remember. But there it is. This one's the newer one, obviously, because this one's 2006, and this one's 2010, 11? I actually don't remember. Let me look. $11. So that's 5 years apart. 2006, 2011. This one's still better, even though it is the newer Chinesian one. But, yeah. Still pretty cool. Now I've got... Because now with my various... Because I actually don't own one of these units right now. just this one, and then I have one that's identical to it that's in the basement that's completely chewed, like it's just completely built out of bad parts, basically. I mean, I guess if someone wants it, they can buy it, but not really worth selling because, well, it sucks. But yeah, this one's nice. So yeah, that's the PowerForce Bagless 6579-2 unboxing in a brief 15 minutes. Well, who am I kidding? For my channel, 15 minutes is a YouTube short, basically. So yeah, that's the PowerForce Bagless. Thanks again, Vac Attack. I'm going to link your channel in the description. If I remember. Hopefully I remember. But yeah, I might even just link the video he did on this at some point. I don't know. Don't know how I'll do it yet, but either way, I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Rocco, do you want to step on this right here? Oh, he knows what that is. He's too smart for that. Sorry, I have the hiccups. It's kind of funny because I didn't know this existed, but there's a version of this that some of my friends have where it's this exact machine, but it doesn't say PowerForce. It just says Bissell Bagless. And there's versions, yeah, and they all have a hunter green, like dark green base. And of that version, there's both one with and without a stretch hose, which is goofy. Because like the first version had a stretch hose because it replaced the 6594-W, and then they later removed the stretch hose and put this hose on it. And then after, what, a couple months, they were like, this is stupid, nobody knows what this is, we're going to rebrand it as this, call it the PowerForce Bagless, because people know what the PowerForce is from the bagged one, even though it doesn't look the same. Which I just realized doesn't make any sense, because the old one was the PowerForce Bagless. I actually don't know the lore behind that model. If anyone knows, like, the history behind that model, let me know. But I do want to get my hands on that model, either one, whether it's got a stretch hose or a plastic hose, because that's fascinating. And there's a few people on YouTube that have them, though. Fan of Vacuum Stew had one, and one of my friends, I forgot who, has both versions, actually. But either way, I think it was 6579 I would assume, because this is -2, so I would assume those models were 6579 and 6579-1. That might be wrong, I don't know. Either way, I'm rambling. But yeah, so this is technically not the most interesting square-based PowerForce Bagless, but yeah, still the one that most kids think about when they want this model. But yeah, either way, Intelitech Studios signing out with the Bissell PowerForce Bagless 6579-2. I'm actually more excited now that I have this than I thought I was going to be. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. So I'm probably going to use this for a little bit. You know, use a Bagless for a little bit. Yeah, either way. What would happen if I took this to work? Oh, that'd be a terrible idea. This thing would belch out so much dust. I don't know. Anyways, Intelitech Studios signing out. Why does this feel so much lighter? That's not a huge difference, but yeah, obviously the base and the hose add a little bit of weight to it, and the turbo brush and the longer cord. Yeah, I guess I just answered my own question, didn't I? Alright, Intelitech Studios signing out. Have a good one. Peace. Vacuum saved, coming soon, as you can see.